mind to throw this wine in your face.
I hope you do.
You think I would waste good wine on you?
Are you trying to say that it's not worth, that I'm not worth getting wine thrown at? I would throw wine on you in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think twice. You know how you always see like just the best parts of everyone online and everywhere? I thought it would be a great idea if we talked about our worst fight ever.
What? What?
No one ever shows the fights or like the behind the scenes kind of stuff like that.
Like all the couples out there who act like they never have an argument or disagreement.
But we fight all the time. So it's like, why don't we tell people about our fights so maybe we can help somebody. Maybe we can help somebody out there that's going through stuff or something.
We do not fight all the time. We're about to.
You know what I mean? Like, no, we don't fight all the time. But like, maybe we can help somebody if we just talk about our own fight.
What do you
Dude, do you not like this idea?
It's wonderful. I love bringing up our disagreements. I think like there's been times in our relationships, I think especially in the beginning, it was probably about like money. Like, Aaron just spent money stupidly, and I did not. Created the problem.
You know what, we're not getting to the root of the problems though. Because I think to get to the root of all the problems, we have to start with the greatest common factor. This is what I learned in math class.
What is that?
The greatest common factor. The greatest common factor that comes down to it is when you pull out X from the fight. So whatever
this is definitely math.
Whatever the X is in the fight, we have to figure out what the X is that's causing the fights. And I think that if we just agree that I don't fight, I'm not a fighter, like, and I don't usually, like, I'm not big on conflicts, then I think that you can factor me out of it and you can see what you're left with for the fight.
I'll tell you this, Aaron does not fight. He's not a fighter. He doesn't like to fight. He doesn't fight with anyone but me and his mom. You know that's true. It's me and your mom. No one else in the world does he fight with. But
it's just
you saved the bitch for us.
It's because I love you so much. That's why I'll fight with you.
I mean, aren't you like?
You just bring out the best in me.
Or the worst. Aren't you like, you're mean to the people you like the most? Is that the right thing?
You're meanest to the, I think that there's a science
to it. You fight with the
it.
person you love the most.
Yes, because I think there is a science to it. And this is another thing. When you're with someone for a certain amount of time, your fights kind of evolve. Or like your arguments kind of evolve.
There is a firefly in our house.
That's not a firefly.
Yeah, it just glue. It's butt glue, like Ray from Princess and the Frog.
Oh, weird. Can that cause a fire?
I know.
You want to laugh at me, but you don't know. That's why. That's why you're not laughing right now, because you want to be like a bitch, and you want to be like, no, they can't cause a fire, and then you don't want that 1% for it to be a fire, and all of a sudden, can it? Like, what was our biggest fight though? Like, what is the biggest one you could think of? I'm trying to think what our biggest one was though.
Honestly, being an adult and not being in a fight and thinking back to it, I really would say 99% of all the fights are because the person that is picking the fight is actually had a bad day or in a bad mood, and the other one doesn't like to see that person in a bad mood, and they're caught off guard from it, and it just escalates into a fight.
Yeah.
99% of those fights.
I think a lot of it has to do with like your intention too, or your like you're not realizing like what, you know, like what you're saying, like out of context stuff. Like, you know, if I say something a certain way and without thinking and not thinking like, oh, this could sound bad or start a fight kind of thing.
I think that's my biggest, I think right now that's probably our biggest issue, is that we don't know how to, sometimes like we'll say things without intentionally saying it, like more, probably maybe a little, no, I wouldn't say aggressive, but like.
It's kind of like when you have a text and you can't tell the context of it, and you're like, you're reading a text, you're like, oh, like, did they mean it like that? Do they mean to be a bitch?
So, like I said, like, being together for 15 years, and some of you have been together for way longer than that, so you probably can speak on way more than we can. But I think it's kind of like a roller coaster. You're just kind of like, there's different times where it's just different issues come up that cause fights. But, and also like the fighting too, or the arguing or bickering, I'm throwing all of that together.
The bitching, the bickering, the moaning, but okay, so when I really think about it though, when I really think about fights and things like that, like fights, the only one I can really remember like vividly is London.
You're gonna bring up that one?
That's the only fight I can really remember that's like was like a big one.
And
I don't remember what it was about.
Okay, well let's. This is a good story. So are we gonna tell them this story?
I'm down. I don't even remember it.
I really don't. It was the last, and it was the first and the only time I've ever had an alcohol / energy drink.
Ooh.
This was obviously like 8 years ago. I would never attempt it now. I mean, some of you might do it, but whatever.
That is a recipe for disaster.
It was. And it definitely contributed that night. But
what happened?
It was our honeymoon, and one of the nights we decided to go out. And I don't even know if we made it. I don't even know if we made it in somewhere. I don't even know if we were going to a bar, a club. I don't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We got in a fight over something. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
We both were like stormed off in different directions. But we both came back for each other, but got turned around.
Oh my god, yeah. And you guys, this was before almost before. It wasn't before GPS cell phones or anything like that, but it was right around the brink. To where we didn't have a battery and we didn't have phone service because it wasn't easy to transfer your phone service, and we were broke, so we didn't pay for a new phone or plan or anything. We couldn't turn our phones on. There was no service. We were like, oh crap. So
I stupidly didn't leave. I left my phone at the house that night because I was like, I'm not gonna use it anyway. I'm gonna be with you. And but we got in a fight. We both got turned around, and I don't know if we both didn't have our cell phones, but obviously one of us didn't have our cell phones because we could have just turned on the Jeep or whatever.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way, yeah.
And Aaron had a key to the house, but didn't know how to get back to the house. I didn't have a key to the house, but I knew how to get back to the house. So we were going around in circles.
Another recipe for disaster.
That I couldn't find him. I was walking back and forth through the streets. We must have just kept missing each other. And I thought because we didn't have our cell phones with us that Aaron might have panicked and just thought, let's just meet at the hotel.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go straight to the hotel.
We must have crossed paths, but also gone to the place because I found it eventually and went back. And then went back again because thinking that we were gonna go there. So if you fast forward this, we ended up.
We lost each other at 11 o'clock at night, I remember that.
Yeah, but I remember when we found each other, the sun was starting to come up.
So we ended up finding each other, and I remember that was the worst night ever.
Do you remember what we did? We just we embraced.
He was like a mirage. We were in a strange country, just wandering from 11 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning, wandering the streets of London trying to find each other.
When we found each other, it was like the gates open, nothing mattered anymore. The fight just disappeared, and it was just like, it was insane.
Really, we don't. As much as this video is about fighting, we really don't fight very often. And whatever we do, we always do resolve it really, really fast.
That's kind of the key too. Like, everyone should be fighting a little bit. It shows you care, I think. I mean, if you didn't fight with someone, it didn't show you cared at all a little bit, you know, or bicker. But I think that the key is you're not going to those extreme levels of fighting. I think if you're with someone that you're doing that with, if you're happier way more than you're fighting, like the ratio is like this, I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah, there's never we never throw stuff. It never gets to the point of throwing stuff, slamming doors, cursing each other out. Like, that's not what we were talking about when we mean fighting. I think fighting is such a broad umbrella. I think the most important thing is just to be able to is it important in the grand scheme of things? If like Aaron was saying earlier, it's sometimes how we address the other. Like, you don't know that they're not meaning to sound mean or dickish or bitchy, or whatever you want to say. Like, they're obviously not meaning to do that, and you know that they don't mean to do that, and so it's really just kind of taking a moment to reflect on that and be like, are they really trying to be mean? Why am I being sensitive about that?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I hope this video kind of at the very least was fun for you guys and you had a good time hanging out with us.
Yeah, love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Remember when you got mad at me for leaving the bowl on the table and leaving a ring on there?
This is a wine glass. There's the step. That's why the stem.
But the fact of the matter is is that you never ever apply it to yourself when you don't apply it to me.
What if I have half a mind to throw this wine in your face?
I hope you do. I would love that moment. I really wish that would happen.
Do you? I mean, I could make that.
Do it. Throw it. No, please.
You think I would waste good wine?
Are you trying to say that it's not worth, that I'm not worth getting wine thrown at? Why would you say that I'm not worth getting wine thrown on?
Because you're cute.
Am I worth getting wine thrown on?
Yes, you're worth.
Would you throw wine on me?
Yes, I would.
Promise?
Yes.
Promise.
Pinky promise. Pinky kiss promise.
I would throw wine on you in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think twice.
Love you.
I was trying to reenact the fight just now and you weren't biting.
Because I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm not gonna fall for your games anymore, Aaron. He'll come around. He always does.